Hello again, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens, and I hope you are doing very well. I'm doing fantastic, actually. Um, Something I wanted to talk about is something I've been thinking about the past week, maybe a little bit less. But it's that, I'll start it off like this. We humans are very complex beings, right? We have a lot of different aspects to our personality, to everything about us, as individuals. And then obviously part of that is more, I guess, socially acceptable, or part of it is more something, excuse me, some things won't jive with what we're trying to do with ourselves spiritually, things like that. So that kind of got me to thinking about our dark side. Okay, we all have a dark side, and maybe it's the part of you that kind of thinks the more negative things, maybe even sometimes even a little bit more twisted. Um, you might even say that's the part of you that when somebody says something stupid at work, you're just thinking, man, I would love to slap the shit out of that guy. But whatever. That part of yourself. Now, those of us who are awakening, who've become aware of the fact that we are individual souls who are waking up, who are becoming conscious, becoming aware of the fact that we do exist, rather than merely existing. We are becoming aware of all of these things. So when we do that, we try to get all the negativity out of our lives. We try to think more positively and act more positively, and just all of those things. And that's great. I'm not suggesting at all we shouldn't do that. But by doing that, we a lot of times we try to suppress a side of ourselves that is there. For example, the dark side, the side of you that may think, I don't know, maybe some pretty twisted stuff once in a while. Like, I wish that dude would trip and break his freaking leg, stuff like that. And then we're like, oh no, don't think that way, don't think that way. So, and I'm not suggesting you should think that way, but there is that side of your personality that does. So all I'm suggesting is just like one thing we've learned from children is bad attention is better than no attention at all. And you've seen them in the stores, the kid screaming, mom stuck playing on her phone, the kid starts screaming louder, mom still playing on her phone. The next thing you know, the kid's laying in the floor kicking and screaming. Bad attention is better than no attention at all. This kid will do anything to get his mother's attention, right? So this other aspect of our personalities, this dark side, just like that. So I'm not suggesting we try to suppress it. I'm not suggesting we try to indulge it either. I am merely suggesting that we, to ourselves, acknowledge it. Acknowledge the fact that yes, I do have a dark side. And at times it can be a little bit twisted. But I don't act on it. And I'm not going to. And I'm not going to pretend it's not there either. That's kind of what I'm getting at. We need to stop pretending parts of our personality don't exist, because they do exist, for one, and two, it is part of your personality. And I know some people might call this shadow work or working on their shadow, and maybe it is, but to me, shadow work is more, and I'm totally down with shadow work, but to me, shadow work is more working on fears and phobias and insecurities and things like that. This is more just kind of giving an acknowledgement to a part of your personality. So you may want to even have a conversation with this part of yourself and say, listen, you are part of what makes me me. And I love you for it. But I am in the process of ascending spiritually. I am in the process of being a better person. I'm in the process of trying to make my world around me better. So that's what I'm doing. And the things that you would want to do ain't conducive to that. You dig? So anyway, have this talk with your dark side. Explain to it. I know that you exist. I'm not going to pretend you're not there. But we're not going to go there. We're not going to do that. Maybe give it a hug. Hug it, be like, yeah, there you go, buddy. Bring it on in, whatever you want to do. I don't know. But whatever the case, acknowledge it. Acknowledge the fact that it exists. Explain to this side of yourself, I know you're there. I love you, but we ain't going to do that. Not in this lifetime. And there you go. You've kind of laid down the rules. You've acknowledged that it's there. And you're not lying to yourself either by acting like you're some big ascended master and there's nothing wrong with anything you ever have, any thought or anything you ever have. No. We're definitely very complex creatures. We're definitely very complex in that we have so many different aspects, so many different sides to what makes us us. So I think it's very unhealthy to just pretend that doesn't happen, that's not there. It's very unhealthy to pretend that we don't ever have dark thoughts or anything like that. What's important is that we don't act on them. Obviously, we don't indulge them, and that we. But I also think it's equally important to not ignore it. Acknowledge it's there. Give it the big old hug. Lay down the rules, and move on. That way, you are acknowledging it. You're letting it be. But you're letting it be without trying to pretend that it's not there. I guess that's what I'm going for. Because a lot of things they say, let this be, let that be. Yeah, that's very important. Acknowledge it's there, let it be, don't indulge it. That's what I got for this one, loved ones. Anywho, yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please do. I've got a lot of other little ideas. I love these little videos because they're kind of little one-offs as opposed to the podcast. Yeah, I've got some podcast episodes recorded that I need to edit. These videos, as I've said before, I do not edit at all. And I've been told that that's actually kind of a good thing. Well, the audio podcast definitely needs to be edited. I'm saying that does, okay? These are okay, cool. In fact, I've had a lot of fun making these videos, and I'm going to continue to do so. So, anyway, please subscribe, like, all that good stuff. If you feel like you know somebody who could benefit from this, share it with them. That'd be great too. And I love you. And until next time, I'll be back directly.